Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the pre-match build-up show. It's the starting 11 predictor show. If you are watching live, get your comments in. As always, you will always get featured on the channel. Every single comment, regardless if we had 1,000 people in, your comments will get featured anyway. But thank you for tuning in. You're absolute bloody legends. And if you haven't already done so, we're trying to get to 5K before Christmas, but everyone absolutely smashed it last night, and I really do appreciate every single one of your support. If you watched it for 2 seconds, 5 minutes, the whole hour, you bloody legends. I really do appreciate the support, not just on my channel, but on everyone's channel tonight as well. And joined by 3 very special guests, regulars on the channel. Ricky from the 1892 Reds podcast, Connor from the Cop Council, and obviously Spider LFC. How are we doing, gents? He's good? Much better after last night? Much better? Not too bad.
Erling Haaland too.
Oh, Christ. Oh, no.
Joking.
But Ricky, get your thoughts, mate. I think he's distracted. What are you looking at there, lad? Throw your phone behind you, lad. Lash it behind you.
I'm good, mate. All good, mate.
Good. Are you in the zone? Are you in the room now?
In it, mate. I'm here.
There we go. But Ricky, thank you very much for dropping in, mate. Just your general thoughts before we do get straight into the start 11. It was a big result for Liverpool, not just for obviously getting the season back on track, but given the opposition. And to see this result, hopefully, build into obviously the West Ham game, but just your general thoughts on the game, mate, and obviously key players that really stood out for you.
Yeah, I thought it was our best performance of the season as a team. It's nice to keep a clean sheet against potentially the best team in the Premier League at the minute. Certain players stepped up big time after being called out for poor performances of late. Like Van Dijk looked like back to his old self yesterday. Joe Gomez looked the Joe Gomez we see in that season where he was next to Van Dijk, and I think it was the season we won the league. Milner at right back, I was pulling what hair I did have left on my head when I see the starting lineup with Milner at right back. But fair play to him. He when he got home, he probably pulled Phil Foden out of his pocket.
Yeah, I was going to say, all of us on the post-match as well, spot on there, mate. I think all of us did put our hands up anyway, and that's what we're wanting. We're wanting a performance like that, not just from Milner, but from the majority of the squad as well, mate. Continue, sorry, lad.
Yeah. It's Robbo as well, coming back from injury. I thought Fabinho was good. Probably his best performance of the season. Thiago next to him was a bit sloppy at times, but stepped up when we needed to in the second half. Absolutely wiping Rodri out, pretending he slipped over. He didn't. He just wiped him clean out. But the front line, Salah, was frustrating at times in the game, but he come through and got the important goal to win the game. Elliott played very well. A mature performance from him. I think he's more of a right winger side, right midfield, right wing, whatever you want to call it. I think he's better off suited there than he is at centre midfield. And who else did we have? Who was on the left? Bobby played well. Just the whole team played well.
They were all everywhere, yeah.
Just the probably worst thing about the game was Jota being stretched off at the end of the game, but yeah, top performance, and hopefully we take it into the next couple of games before the World Cup. Beat West Ham on Wednesday. If we don't, the City result was pointless. So we just got to go into that game. You've got to be confident now. Like hopefully we'll turn the corner and stick with it.
Yeah, spot on, mate. And as I said, big up everyone in chat as well. Get to everyone's comments before we get to Spider's point of view. And Brian's going with a great starting 11. That Brian, tell you what, that would 100% win the league. You definitely need a Scout translator on that team anyway, because of course. There'd be a lot of courses going on in that team. But yeah, spot on there, Brian. We are a team of Cardigans. But we'll get to Russell's comment on as well, and it's a great point, mate. I will screenshot this comment as well because it will feature that. And Russell, thank you very much for your comment, mate. So if anyone chat as well, most importantly, if you would like to schedule the shows as well where we talk about talking points, most importantly, that you all want to discuss, and it's an important point, a massive show that could be Russell. We will speak about that for, definitely this week, mate. It's really concerning, but obviously it's a point where really that we all need to discuss, and hopefully it can get rectified in next weeks to come. Really, but how you doing, Jazz? As well, big up everyone. And as ever, thank you very much for tuning in. As always, mate, very close to 5k subs. Congratulations in advance for that, Jack. Really do appreciate it, mate. Every single one of you that have been here from 4-5 years ago, or a very long time ago, and starting my channel. As I said to everyone, start YouTube, go for it. It's not going to happen overnight. Just keep at it. As I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint anyway, and continue all the great content, every single one of you. But really do appreciate that, mate, as well. Brian just saying hello. You've Raj, not tonight, mate. Apologies. Get Jack to 5 subs. So, yeah. That's I'm gonna have to ban the word top reds in the comments. Like, so yeah, I hate that word. Hate to break it to the panel, but Spider, the best that City win. Like, did you?
Did my bollocks.
But yeah, going to be having a word with Rob later, aren't we, boys? But Spider, thank you very much for jumping on, mate, as well. Thoughts on the game, as Ricky's alluded to, with the massive.
Yeah, Ricky's dead right. It was the best performance that we've had all season, especially defensively. Look, I was surprised. Well, I was surprised and not surprised that Klopp went so defensively, going for the counter-attack game. But he just let City play their game, really, and then just like caught them out really multiple times. If I'm honest, and like people were, I seen people going on about saying that City there was a smash and grab, and I didn't see that at all. I saw City with a 10-minute period where they got 2 or 3 chances at once, and then maybe again the second time for about 5 minutes. But that's all I saw with City all afternoon. I thought we were the much better side. I thought we could have at least scored 4 minimum, you know, if chances weren't wasted. Nunez, and and yeah, but like, look, the team played fantastically well. Jota worked his socks off. Bobby worked his socks off. Well, I don't blame Bobby in certain ways. He was brilliant at winning the ball back. He was brilliant at retaining it, but he just wasn't fast enough to let a couple of balls loose in the middle of the park sometimes. I thought. I thought he was off on his passing game a bit yesterday, but brilliant at his tracking back, at his positional play, all of that. You know, as I said, he was keeping De Bruyne, you know, very quiet from receiving passes, because he kept drifting into positions that were intercepting De Bruyne's passes, like, you know, or that De Bruyne would receive a pass. But like, but also, man, can we talk about how bad Bernardo Silva is as a salty player? To be honest with you,
he's one of the probably most hated Premier League players, not just from Liverpool, but in terms of the rival fans as well. He's a world class player. We all know that, but his attitude absolutely stinks, doesn't it?
He gave Mo Salah an elbow yesterday. When that foul happened, he went back into him and gave him another elbow inside.
He wanted his Icons shirt, didn't he? Like Christ. Like, he's literally dragging it. It was a UFC move on that, mate.
Ridiculous.
Spot on.
With regards to the foul and stuff, I still think it's a foul. You know, you're pulling a player short any day of the week, especially when he's turning with the momentum. If you pull him in any way, he's going to go down. Now, I'd say something if Fabinho was already running the other way and then he pulled him and then he went flying back, then that would have been a bit of an over exaggeration. But Fabinho was in the turn. Haaland just used the pull and the advantage to his, he used the momentum in the pull.
It's even before that as well, mate. Yeah. There was 3 wrong things in that, in terms of the goal kick that wasn't given. Obviously, somehow the linesman and referee didn't see that. Goal kick, took it, went up the other end, scored. As you said, the tug, and I did have a tweet, but I haven't put it on tonight. Sorry, everyone. But there was a tweet from a very well-respected journalist last night after the game that it was stated by the Premier League that if they didn't look at the tug, then they still would have ruled out the Manchester City goal due to the foul on Alisson Becker. Because we all seen that, even on my watch long as well. We all seen around the world. Ali had 2 hands on that ball. Haaland cleared him through. And as he said, mate, it would have been a foul. But as he said, mate, it was a tremendous goal. It gave a lot of, not just the players, but it's give the crowd and every single one of us to even give us a boost going into today if you're going into work or whatnot. Anyway, it's hopefully galvanised everyone.
Everybody stepped up. Fabinho looks sharp. Firmino looks sharp. The places, Elliott stepped up. Jota stepped up. Salah was on fire, to be honest with you, especially in that second half. James Miller surprised everybody, I think, with how good he was defensively. And in the one part in that that I noticed is that when and I don't want to Trent bash anybody or bash Trent in any way, but when Trent came on, the only chance the City had near the end of the game to cross that, when it went straight across the middle of the goal, is when Trent was just ball watching and just left him up the side, and Millie didn't track that at that stage, because Millie would have been there the whole
You
game.
were all
He was
knackered, weren't you?
they were knackered, but Trent didn't track back, and that was like straight away he was ball watching and it went up the side of him. He really needs to get his positional play on defensive, especially when we're defending a 1-0 win with like it was already in the 94th minute just before Jota's injury, and I'm just like, Trent, just step in front of him, do something. But it was a jog back again, So yeah, but he's looked sharp going forward again when he came on, but what's expected.
It's always difficult for anyone, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always going to be difficult, especially getting rhythm in a game. Even if you are coming in for a minute or two, really, obviously your concentration levels are 100% not going to be there. But he's spot on, mate. Connor, obviously I spoke to you last night. Did you have a good day? Thank you very much for jumping on, mate. Appreciate it.
It could have been better. We could have watched the game 1,000 times more. No, I'm joking. How good does it feel? Liverpool winning a game of football. And yesterday, for me, it just meant a statement of intent, hopefully, now for the weeks to come. Obviously, we've all said that we've needed a game-changing moment in our season. And, by far, this is the best. I think I said it to you, didn't I? It would just be Liverpool to not be in the title race and finally beat Man City at home. And it happened. And look, I don't think, I agree with what Rick and Spider said. I think a lot of people have gone, Liverpool just, they nabbed that 1-0 and held on tight. No, if you watch the game, Liverpool should have won. They should have won 2-3-0. Look, City didn't create chances. I've seen plenty of City fans have a go at Pep about, playing De Bruyne as a right wing to try and, try and isolate Robbo a little bit, him going a bit forward. I think Liverpool defensively, we didn't see the high line once yesterday, and it worked. Virgil van Dijk was back to his best. Joe Gomez alongside of him was amazing. Fabinho was amazing yesterday. James Milner, we could go on and on. But it's that thing where, of course, we can't play the same way as we did yesterday against, let's say, West Ham and Nottingham Forest coming up, because, you're going to have to go at them a bit more. But I think as far as, maybe going a bit, further back from the high line, I think that should be a thing from now on. I don't think, being so far up should be a thing anymore. Yeah, you can go a bit further up than what Liverpool was yesterday. But I think, as Klopp has, mentioned, they've had to change things, from what they would normally do. And we now know that's the 4-4-2, and it's working perfectly at the minute. Salah looks 10 times better centrally than out wide and out. He's getting isolated. Plain and simple, he doesn't have the help and support to get himself involved. Because I think he was amazing yesterday. He caused problems all day long. And it was magical to see. And I absolutely love it.
Happy days. And it was all worth it for Pep crying his bloody eyes out, wasn't it, chat? A lot of my mates were in the game as well last night. Gordon were in the main stand as well, literally right next to him, and they were giving him some lovely words anyway. Because he doesn't know half help himself, Pep. It's the one stadium he always does it. Like, he does not help himself anyway. So many absolute nonsense. And even in the interview, the absolute drivel that he comes out, he's one of the biggest, sorest losers in European football as a manager. You'd think for a manager that's won everything, you'd at least be humble as a human being, but quite frankly, he's not really. But that's what happens when you're very spoiled as a manager. He's been blessed with managing one of the greatest ever players in Leo Messi, who basically practically won him everything, along with obviously that great Barcelona side. He just got very fortunate that he was in that management seat anyway, because I think anyone in and around the La Liga and a top elite manager there would have won the trophies that he did, given that team he had as well. As Brian there, we opened them up 4 to 5 times, 100% there, Brian. We're going to the starting 11 in a little second as well. Would have been ruled out, yeah. Spot on there, Brian. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and as I said, share it out throughout in any social media platforms you are on as well. And as I said, very close to 5k. If we can get that tonight, fantastic. Really would appreciate it as well. Make sure you do head over to the lads, the 80 Lens Beds podcast, Ricky's channel, Ricky and Luke, as well, on their road to 1,000 now. So that's absolutely fantastic as well. Similar with Connor. Please do head out. All their links here are in the description. Mods, if you can drop their socials, be greatly appreciated as well. Haaland had 6 shots, 4 of them on the target. Didn't seem like that kind of game, though. Felt like all the best chances were ours, 100%. Klopp's end off was exactly what I wanted to see from my manager. I thought you were going to say big dunk then, but bloody hell, Rob. What's we're not even past the watershed. Behave there, lad. Mo, 1-0, Haaland. Get back in your box, mate, as well. This is Anfield, was the saying that all Pep as well. He's absolutely bloody rattled as well. Big up Niall, absolute legend. As 15 of you in here, try and get to at least 15 likes. That'll be fantastic. But lads and ladies as well, we'll go into the starting 11 predictor. And Connor, as you alluded to, big up This is Anfield as well. The channel link is in the description as well. So if you want to have a little dabble in terms of obviously picking your starting 11 with all your mates and that, do check out their website as well. Cracking content as always as well. But Connor, firstly, and chat, most importantly, the big question is what formation, chat. Get your formation that you would potentially see or you anticipate Jurgen Klopp to be going against West Ham. Predominantly do play a 4-2-3-1 system. Obviously, Samaka, Declan Rice, Souček as well, Ben Rama. You've got a lot of tricky plays. But Connor, first to ask you, mate, a lot of people have been suggesting a diamond formation, obviously, given not having Jota and Diaz, obviously quite prominent wide players in this Liverpool previous system for Liverpool. Do you foresee a different tinkering? I think last night we did see a diamond formation with Bobby before he did come off. Bobby was in behind, obviously, the likes of Salah and obviously Jota before he got injured. So, your thoughts, mate? Is it going to be a 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3? What do you reckon?
I'm going to go 3-5-2. Why not go 4-4 right now? I'm kidding. I think, look, there's 2 ways you can go about it. I think you can either match West Ham and go 4-2-3-1. But I think if it's not, if it's not broken, why change it? And I think, 4-4-2, for me, I'd stick with it. I know that obviously Jota not being around and Luis Diaz is a huge disappointment, but there is, other players that can play there. Even Darwin could even play there as well. Played there for Benfica. So there is plenty of options there. And yeah, for me, I'd stick with 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 or whatever it is we like to call it these days.
What one do you want to go then? What are you going?
I go 4-4-2.
4-4-2. Spider?
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1.
I think so. Yeah, because... Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, lad. Go ahead. Carry on. Sorry, lad.
Oh, sorry, man. No, I'd go 4-2-3-1 mainly because Jota is gone. And Bobby's going to play in that central role in that 4-2-3-1. And you're going to have Carvalho on the left, probably with Nunez up front and Salah on the right. So that's the only way that I can probably see us doing it going forward. Whether he plays Elliott, I don't know. That's the only way that I can see us going 4-4-2 if he decides to play Elliott again. If not, we're going to need. So it's more important that we fill the space on the left, and whether Elliott can do that, which I think Carvalho has been brought in for that. Then I don't know. I think it'll be 4-2-3-1, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah.
See you on 4-2-3-1. Ricky?
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, Jack, get your formation that you think anticipate Jurgen Klopp to be going with in the comments.
Whatever we played yesterday, I think he'll go with, and I just think it'll be the same team as well. And where's Jota be at? It'll just be Nunez that comes in for him. But it would be interesting to see the diamond formation with 2 up top, because if he did the 2 up top, it'll be Salah and Nunez with Bobby behind them. Then whatever options we've got in midfield. So we've got a few formations to play with. That's how I think City struggled yesterday a little bit, breaking the stand. They didn't really know how to adapt to the formation, we kept switching between the 4-4-2 and then the other formation that we have. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. It's something new for us. Teams don't really know how to play against it with the players that we've got in the team. So it's exciting times. I know a lot of people don't like to hear the word transition, but that's really what it is this season at the minute. So we're transitioning into a new sort of formation and player-wise, so it's going to be interesting. Hopefully Elliot gets another start. He looked very bright, so...
So, yeah. Ricky, what are you going to go with then? So you're going with 4-2-3-1 as well?
Yeah,
then?
I've got. What they play yesterday? The 4-2-3-1.
It was classed as on paper. It was a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Chat, get your starting 11s as well. But nice one, Mark, for putting in everyone's comments about the channel links as well. Really do appreciate it. So please do everyone head over to there as well. Brian, as I said, the link is in the description as well, chat. So please do head over after the episode as well. How is everyone? Not too bad, Mark. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Most importantly, hopefully you've been well, mate. Everyone watching, the absolute legends, and hopefully you've went to work or whatnot, or your mates, or you've seen your family members that don't support Liverpool. Imagine having family members that don't support Liverpool. It's absolute madness. But clicked on Spider. Yeah. Well, I'll get that sorted anyway, Mark. As I said, Brian. So we're gonna go with a 4-2-3-1 system as well. So that's what we played. Well, it was down on paper anyway. So it's pointless discussing who's gonna be going in there because we all know who that is gonna be. Andy Robinson, lads, 100%.
Yeah.
He absolutely impressed massively, didn't he, last night?
Yeah.
So I think there's unlucky for Costas, but given the extensive performance, that man, the Scottish bloody wizard down the left, it's going to be a good old Andy Robinson. And the big talking points, as Ricky alluded to, I think Ricky went with Milner right back. Connor, would you go with that same notion? Give Trent, because I said after my post-match, and obviously in my pre-match build-up, I don't want to be rushing back players for the sake of 1 or 2 games. I'd much rather, if he's fit, 100%, then play him. But I don't want to be in a situation like we were with Canate last week, where we've rushed him back against Rangers, and then we bring him into the starting 11, and we find out an hour after the game that he's sustained yet again another injury, or he's a major doubt for the next game or next weeks to come. Right hand side, Con.
I agree. If Trent is 100% fit and doesn't have any problems or issues, I'd start Trent. But I agree with you. I think that if there's a slight chance of him, not being 100%, then don't change it. Stick with James Milner. Judging from last performance, he massively deserves to still be there. So yeah, I'd probably go James Milner, and then maybe start Trent then on the weekend. So yeah, James Milner.
Yeah. Spider, would you concur?
That's what I would like to see, to be honest with you. I'd like to see Trent being eased in again another 10-15 minutes at the end of the game and then start on the weekend. Yeah, so I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and it's interesting, obviously, Chad, if you've not been watching a lot of West Ham, did you deploy a 3-4-3 formation? More or less what it adapts very similar to Liverpool. It changes within games. And that's the unpredictability nature of they do tend to play with a 3-back, but it does transition into a 4, depending on, obviously, the scenarios within the game. I will be having the opposition preview show out tomorrow at 8 p.m. I will be getting me good old West Ham mates in the episode tomorrow as well. So stay tuned. That is out on 8 p.m. GMT UK time tomorrow. Is there a bit of feedback there? Was that your mic there, Spider?
Was it?
No, it was, yeah, it is.
Was it? Oh, sorry.
Sorry, man. It's really good. So yeah, as we said, so we're all. I'd go with Milner as well, chat. And there's probably people screaming at the telly, but only mainly due to the fact that I don't want to be rushing Trent back, and especially if Trent is looking like potentially might be getting selected for the England national side. So if he's going to be playing games, I'd go with Milner as well. Not going to spend too much time on the centre half, are we, boys? Both centre halves, they pick themselves, don't they, really? In terms of that man, Big Alvage, and Joey Gomez. Spy, just your thoughts on them, mate? Obviously, you did allude to them before as well. it's great to see the Joe Gomez obviously signing a new contract this season.
Yeah.
Big 5-year deal. He's the future Liverpool Football Club. Yes, him and Joel Matip have been injured for the last couple of seasons, really, like quite niggling injuries. And it's frustrating, really, because we want to see a Joe Gomez playing like he did last night. We all know his qualities, but it's really great to not just remind us fans, because we all know, but in terms of an outside point of view, there's been shouts for potentially him getting in the England starting 11 as well, because I think if he did play like that, him and John Stones, for me, are a country mile ahead of the rest of the England centre-halves, but Southgate is Southgate, and he'll probably go with the Fridge and Tyrone Mings centre-half in the World Cup. So, what are your thoughts on those two, mates?
Like, well, Van Dijk is back to his best yesterday, even above and beyond. To be honest with you, I thought he went a little over what he normally does. Normally, he's very calm, collected. He clears it fairly easily, but he absolutely pocketed Haaland yesterday. I don't think I've ever seen Haaland outplayed once like that all season by any defender. He was getting to the ball before him the majority of times. When Haaland did get a touch on the ball, it was on the opposite side, coming over between Milner and Gomez. But anytime it was coming up the other side, there was no way it was getting past Big Verge. With regards to Gomez, he grew into the game within the first 5 minutes. Even though we were like heavy metal straight at the start, he grew into it. He was composed. I didn't see him make any errors that he was making over the previous weeks. Some of the passing he was making was very good. He was driving up the pitch a little bit like Matip, like we're used to seeing with Matip and Konate in recent in the last couple of seasons. But yeah, man, just as assured as it can possibly get as a defensive unit. They were fantastic yesterday. And I like the fact that, as Conor alluded to earlier as well, when you mentioned it, there was no high line, and there was no high line. And I actually enjoyed that, because I know we played a season there where we had the most offsides in the league, and that's a great plaudit to have, but there were still teams getting in over the back and it was dangerous. It was just heart and mouth football. But when Van Dijk plays better without playing like that, why not just play to his strengths?
That's what we've been saying.
Deeper,
spot on there, mate. That's what we've been always getting him out this season, especially when we've been getting results against us as well. And it's a great point there, mate, that you mentioned. I just asked Ricky in terms off the back of that comment, mate. Do you think that's hopefully a thing that Spider alluded to, and Connor and chat as well? We do sit 5-10 yards deeper a bit more within certain games, especially when you've got a goal or you've got 2 goals as well, and look to just bring counter-attacks on teams as well.
Yeah, this high line don't work again. It works against certain teams who ain't got very quick forward players. You can get away with it because Van Dijk and Gomez are pretty quick. But going back to what Spider said, Gomez was immense yesterday. I mean, I think City looked at it and I think Haaland thought, yeah, I'm going to play on Joe Gomez, the weak link in Liverpool's back line. And I think if it got to a stage where he was bullying Gomez in the game, controlling Gomez, I think Van Dijk would have got involved. But I think Van Dijk just stood there for, I'll let my boy deal with you for 90 minutes. And fair play to him. I think that's one of Joe Gomez's best performances in a Liverpool shirt. We see him against Napoli away. It was a car crash.
I think they all wear that game,
and he stepped up massively in this game to show that he just ain't good because Van Dijk's next to him. He showed that he can hold his own against someone of Haaland's quality. And long may it continue. I hope he stays fit, because it's going to be massive for Joe Gomez if he can stay fit. Because let's be honest, him and John Stones are probably England's 2 best centre halves when they're both fit on paper.
By a country mile for me as well.
It's just where they're both made of prawn crackers. It's hard to stick with them in the England squad. But listen, Joe Gomez could get that late call to go on the plane for the World Cup if he continues to play well in a Liverpool shirt. Hopefully, I hope he's wanting to stay fit.
Yeah, I was going to say, all of us, all Liverpool fans, South England,
I mean,
give it to us.
It's going to be interesting as well when Konate comes back from injury. I don't know how long he's out for. Hopefully, not too long. But you then got him and Gomez fighting for that place next to Van Dijk. We all know long term it's going to be Gomez and Konate at centre half once Verge flies off somewhere in retirement. But yeah, we need to get rid of this high line. It don't work. We've seen it ain't worked all season. We've gone back to basics, and we pretty much went man for man with Man City and got the result.
Yeah, it's refreshing, boys, as well. And it's an exciting thing. And as we said, that's probably one thing that we have missed, especially obviously given the extensive injuries the lads have alluded to as well. And we've spoke about the chat as well over the last couple of months. In terms of, obviously, it's never good. And especially when you do have a interruption in terms of your back line, you need to build rhythm and momentum. And even when results aren't going well, you need that consistent level of selection in terms of just gaining confidence. Even yes, you are getting beat or you're dropping points, but if you keep on constantly disrupting the defense, it's going to massively have an impact on the results, and we've seen that over the last couple of weeks as well, and last couple of months in terms of the Premier League, not just this season, but in terms of the last season and even that season 2 years ago when Liverpool were heavily depleted and we went on such a bad run anyway. And of course, it's going to have an impact on results on the pitch as well. But hopefully, as Ricky, there we go. Could you Luke Taylor? As Ricky alluded to there, fingers crossed, everyone. We do see the injuries behind Joe Gomez now as well. And as we've already said, if he can do that against Haaland, then he can do it against every single other player in Europe as well and in the Premier League. And it's going to give him a lot of confidence. But we'll move on.
Quick one.
Sorry.
Alisson just comes second in the Yashin Award behind Courtois.
That's good. I'm not surprised he got that bloody reward after the final. Christ almighty. If they didn't have Thibaut Courtois in goal, then you would have won that Champions League hands down by a bloody country mile. Fair play to the fella. Go ahead, Spider, and we get to
sorry, let's well. Like even alluding to Joe Gomez, I know he's going to be like the guy going forward, but because, as you said, for the football and the injuries that he's been having, we noticed that most of his injuries are either broken legs or something that's been snapped because of somebody else, and it's not really like an injury. He's not an injury-prone kind of guy. He never really was. And anything that's kind of happened after that is because of this situation. But I don't know. I know we're saying that we want to keep everybody fit and what you call it, but seeing how we get through these next few games and hopefully Konate comes back and all of that, and we're probably, if Konate does come back, hopefully Joe. I want to see anybody play well for Liverpool, so I want to see him battling and I want to see him at the top of their game, you know. But if it does come to the fact where Konate is preferred over Gomez when he comes back and Gomez not seen enough time, maybe it is a good thing that he goes to the World Cup after playing like 4 brilliant games in a row, just to keep his fitness up or to build the strength in the bones and the muscles that have a problem. I don't know, but like I don't want to see anybody going off from Liverpool to go to the World Cup unless they really need that. Yeah, unless they really need the fitness. So if Konate comes back, and might throw a spanner in the works after Gomez playing like 4 or 5 games great in a row, and then Konate gets preferred straight away. So for me, maybe then you would kind of like hopefully Joe can go over there and then gain some fitness, not an injury, but just some fitness and come back then fresh for December again. You know, so we don't know.
Anyway. Spot on there.
Yeah. Was that reaction for where you just see Mo Salah placing Ballon d'Or? Yeah.
Oh, where's Mo finished?
He finished 5th.
5th, are you mad?
And Kevin De Bruyne has finished over him. With the season Mo had.
It's a Finnish competition, that, mate.
But I want to know who else is in like the top.
Who's left?
De Bruyne's come 4th, so Mane's going to be coming 3rd.
I think it's going to be Benzema, Mane, Lewandowski, Kevin De Bruyne, and Mo Salah. I think that's the top 5.
Right, what time are we on now? Yeah, right. We'll quickly rattle through the starting 11 as well. And then
sorry, I didn't know. I made a reaction then. Sorry, I was just checking Twitter.
Okay. You are live on YouTube, Connor. Like, but I don't know. But right, we'll rattle through this as well. Chat, get your midfield and obviously attacking selection as well. Who do you feel Jurgen Klopp will be selecting? And I do not want to see these changed at all, because what a performance they did have. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't think there's any questions with those two in midfield. Central attack midfielder, Ricky. Are we going to go with Bobby Dazzler? He's undroppable basically at this moment in time.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be Bobby. Took him a while to get going in the City game. I think where they sort of freed up on him a little bit. So they 2 to 3 men around him every time he got hold of the ball, so he couldn't really do much. early on in the game. I think as the game went on, he got a little bit more space in the pocket and was allowed to do what he wants to do. But yeah, at the minute, I don't think he's our best player this season. He's got a better goals and assists this season. I know he scored that trick against Bournemouth, but you got to be in it to score. So yeah, I'd go with Bobby there, definitely.
Yeah, you concur with that? Bobby does there?
No change for me.
Yeah. And then, it's the thing, no chat as well. If we do go a 4-3-3, obviously we can discuss that quickly as well, in terms of Harvey Elliott, potentially Connor. If we did go to a 4-3-3, would you foresee Harvey Elliott coming in that, like, obviously the midfield role? Obviously he did play more or less on the right hand side, didn't he, against Manchester City? Do you ever see him getting into the starting 11, mate, or would you?
Yeah. Well, I'd even put him on the right hand side in the 4-2-3-1. I think we discussed earlier on. I don't think we can put Mo there. I think that's crystal clear. So I think, Harvey Elliott on the right performed excellently yesterday. Again, proving people wrong yet again. And saying that he can't play in the team, or Klopp doesn't know where Harvey Elliott's best position is. I think people do forget half the time that he is still 19 years of age, and at the moment he's performing at one of the best clubs in the world at a very high level, and can only get better from now as well. But yeah, for me, I think the right hand side is definitely, if it is a 4-2-3-1, it is definitely Harvey Elliott. So I think if we do go 4-3-3, I think even still, I think a midfield three of Fabinho, Thiago, and Harvey Elliott is an exciting midfield three as well.
100%. And obviously get to everyone's chat as well. And big up Paul, absolute legend, mate. Anyone on the panel? What's the German? Chat, there we go.
I'm going to Google that.
Be careful with the pronunciation, but big up Paul. Hope you had a great day, mate. Thank you for tuning in as always. And obviously, chat, we will conclude once we've all selected everyone. Get your starting 11s in as well if you haven't already done so. But big up Paul as well. Big up everyone. Big up Mace as well. The Anfield Lark. Anyone just see the Panorama documentary about Palace? Really sad what happened to people. Absolutely shoddy organisation, mate. Yeah. As I said, mate, it probably will be quite distressing for a lot of people, especially that did go, and obviously for the people that did went as well. I know a couple of my mates as well, and such a poorly organised. So please, as Anfield Lark says, it should be on BBC iPlayer, but I know it might be really a distress. It might be difficult for a lot of people to watch, but if you can, even if you're in a good place, really, definitely check it out in terms, obviously, because it's absolutely shocking. And hopefully, off the back of this, a lot of information does come forward, because obviously we know the club and we're working with UEFA, given all their evidence, and a lot of people that did go on that night as well in terms of the poor organisation. There's still everything's getting collected, obviously, in terms of the lawyers as well. And hopefully we do get justice, not just for Liverpool, but in terms of Real Madrid fans as well. For both sets of fans, it was an absolute disgrace, and sad that UEFA do get away with it every single bloody year. Regardless, it shouldn't be happening in this day of age, really, but it's still continuing. The more people just continue to give money to UEFA, it's never going to change, really, and hopefully we do see some justice really for both fans as well. As I said, so that is on the BBC. That was aired tonight on the BBC. Thank you very much, Anfield Lark, for that, mate. Yeah, not much decision there as well. Obviously just relying on the BBC One. So if you missed it, chat, obviously it was on tonight at 8 p.m. It will be on BBC iPlayer probably in the next, once it's finished tonight. It usually takes like an hour to get uploaded to BBC iPlayer straight away anyway. So definitely check that out. UEFA for you, mate. Do you think they'd treat the 6 times winners as risk? It's the thing, and even Real Madrid, mate, Rob and chat, we all know Real Madrid got treated. It was quite sad that UEFA waited until Real Madrid made a statement. Then they had to follow up and come out with their internal investigation, which was massively flawed, as probably that documentary did highlight anyway. Quite rightly so. How you doing, Hannah? Thank you very much for tuning in as well. Is that a spider? Is that swivel on it as well? There we go, Paul. Where was it, Paul's comment? Yeah, there we go. Give it context as well. There we go, Paul. Spiders. I'm hoping that's the right pronunciation, mate. I don't think
Shadow shrinking pip.
Yeah, there we go, mate. Big up, Jamie. As I said, thank you very much for tuning in, mate. And we'll get you on very soon, mate. If you're available for jump on the post match, mate. Obviously, the West Ham game. I will be the West Ham post match show, everyone. I would have been doing a live, but I'm going to be going the game. So the post match reaction show will probably be late out that night, probably an hour or an hour and a half. Saying that, yeah, it doesn't take me that long. So it'll probably be about an hour after the end of kickoff. The game's finished anyway. So stay tuned on the channel for that, everyone. Hope you're well, Jay. Thank you very much, most importantly, mate, as always, for tuning in. Mods, can you please drop Jamie's channel link as well? If you haven't already done so, you know who Jamie is, but if you're not aware of his channel, please do head over. Jamie Phillips Football Chat's doing great content, as always, and is after hours. Sorry, I would have jumped on last night, mate. Oh boy, I had uni today, so you know what I'm like, getting up in the morning, obvious. Not the best. It's good to go. A 4-3-3 was from Brian. Ali, Trent, Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Costas. Interesting, Brian. Thiago, Fabinho, Elliot, Nunes on the left, and Bobby and Salah, plan B. Interesting, mate. Chat, if you haven't got your starting 11s in there, get them in anyway. As I said, it was Anfield, 100%. If coins were thrown at us, it need banning as well. Yeah, until we get official confirmation, don't want to be speculating on stories, mate. But if that was the case, it's wrong by all accounts anyway. And it will be quite rightly condemned from the football club and all of us fans as well. It's West Ham at Anfield. It's basically 3 points guaranteed. Brian, I know they've won one in like the last 49 meetings, something stupid. Hang on, let's get that quick stat up anyway. I've got it up here. Where's that stat? Where is it? Bloody hell. Is it West Ham? Hang on. Oh, that's the wrong one. Bear with me, chat. Apologies. There we go. Let's get that stat up. I did have it up on my timeline. Yeah. West Ham have won one of their last 12 Premier League games against Liverpool, drawn 2, lost 9, winning a 3-2. They won 3-2 at home last season as one of the two sides to beat the Reds in the league. Liverpool have lost just one of their last 49 home league games against West Ham, winning a staggering 36, 12 draws, going down 3-0 in August in 2015 under Brendan Rodgers. Who else but Brendan, chat? We know that. We know it's Brendan. Bloody Brendan Rodgers. Christ almighty. But yeah, as we said, hopefully the crowd's up for it. I'm going to be going, singing my lungs out anyway, and I'm hoping the atmosphere is absolutely in tip-top form. I'm pretty sure it will be anyway. Kick on from that. 100% mark will be a massive game. Actually, his wife talked about getting mugged after the game. The whole thing was shocking. It was there, but was lucky to avoid the worst of it as well. As I said, make safe travels as always. Big up, Jay. There, nice one, Mark, for that. There's Jamie's link as well. And Yuvraj has gone with a 4-2-3-1. He's gone with Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robinson, Fabinho, Thiago, Carvalho, Firmino, Salah, and Nunes as well. Spidey, a legend, mate. There we go, Paul. Aye. But Jamie's gone with his start 11. Ali, Trent, Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Robinson, Thiago, Fabinho, Elliot, Nunes, Carvalho, and Salah as well. That's absolutely fantastic there, Jay. And we'll quickly rattle through the last couple of ones that makes, well, obviously massive respect as well. But quickly rattle through these chats, and then we'll have a little look at the Ballon d'Or nominations. We can laugh at the placings of certain players. But lads and ladies, left-hand sides, Carvalho. Who else?
Nunes.
Yeah, Nunes I'll go.
That's if you want to play Salah through the centre, it's going to have to be Nunes.
Is that if Salah's going through centre?
Yeah.
Are we going with Salah through the middle then?
Yeah.
Salah there, and I'm guessing playing
Elliot.
Yeah. So as we said, it could be that. probably, chat, it probably ideally might be that, but as the lads already alluded to, could be this in terms of, but we'll find out. It's the options and the versatility, which is good that we've got now at Liverpool. It's fantastic that we've got these options. So, as we said, chat, that's our panel's starting 11 anyway. But as Jamie said there, it could be an option of, obviously, as we've seen, a 4-4-2 formation in terms of, as we said, Cav, it's the options really in terms of that, isn't it? But it's where's my bloody case there? There we go. 4-4-2, Nunes, Salah up top, Elliott on the right, and then Carvalho, as he said there. Obviously, we will be dropping, so we'll get Carvalho. That's spot on there, Jane. I think we did see that, especially late on in the City game. I think we did see that for a small portion of time.
That's a football manager formation, that is.
4-4-2. There we go. But it's the options. Thank God we have got these attacking options. I just wish we had these options. I think we can all agree, chat, in midfield in terms of rotating. But score predictions, lads, as I said, and chat, get your score predictions in. As I said, we'll be having the opposition fan preview show out tomorrow at 8 p.m, getting the fan build up anyway from the West Ham point of view tomorrow at 8 p.m. But I'll ask the lads, Connor, start with you, mate. Chat, get your score predictions in. What are you going to go with? I've gone with a 2-1. I'd happily take that. But what are you going to go with, matey?
You know what? I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. Actually, no, scrap that. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Another clean sheet. Nice.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Why not?
Go
for 2 for 2. But yeah, I think 2-0. Go with Darwin and Salah to score, and keep up the win streak.
Yeah. Ricky, go you there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0. I think we get another clean sheet based off of if we play like how we did the other day, and the confidence the back line's going to have. Even when we scored the Salah goal, they were celebrating with Ali, didn't they? They all turned around and run direct to him, the 4 defenders. Just like, I just think Nunes, West Ham have got a lot of defenders out. Zuma's out, that Kelra's out, centre half. Dawson's got a knock. Ogbona's out. So defensively, they're not going to be that strong, West Ham. I think Declan Rice might slip into centre half at stages. So hopefully Nunes can get some confidence goals in this game and
Sorry, lads. Sorry to interrupt you. Man City have been named Club of the Year. What a load of my ass. Sorry there, Ricky. Sorry, that was probably the most shocking. Carry on, mate. Sorry.
Hopefully Nunes can get a goal or two. And hopefully when he runs with the ball, his head's not on the floor. It's up in the air so that he can see where his teammates are. But yeah, no, it'd be good for him to score that. I don't know. There's always something. When Nunes scores, like I get a bit more happier feeling than when someone else scores in the team at the minute, because all the shit he's getting on social media and stuff is just tragic. So, hopefully he bangs and comes good tomorrow.
Yeah. So what was your score line? Sorry, mate, before I rudely interrupted you. It was for the fair point, though.
Yeah, 3-0 it was. Go 3-0.
3-0. So 2-0 Spider.
Yeah, it's Ricky's after taking my scoreline. So I'm just going to have to be more optimistic and go for 4. I want to see Nunes get a couple of goals as well tomorrow, and I think Salah can do the job. Nunes in the air, maybe, hopefully. And I think even Brian's lineup there that he had for tonight, I think that's more likely the lineup against Nottingham Forest on the weekend rather than Wednesday night. I'd like to hope that we're going to win it 4-0 on Wednesday, mainly so Jack comes back happy and slightly merry to the day after one, the after show.
I'm just triggered off that. Everyone, that is what happens when you do a load of backhands of envelopes and everything. Cheeky 10 grand to the executives in the Ballon d'Or ceremony anyway. But yeah, we'll move on. We'll get to everyone's comments before, and we'll have a little look in terms of obviously the Ballon d'Or nominations and everything there. But big up, Simon. As I said, congratulations on the wedding, mate. Hopefully it goes well. I know it will be, mate. So congratulations to you and the missus. It's going to be a good game, and hopefully get 3 points up the Reds. I might start 11. Simon's gone with Ali, Trent, Virgil van Dijk, Gomez, Robinson, Thiago, Fabinho, Elliott, Salah, Bobby, Nunes, and a great show. Keep up the good work as well. Thank you very much for that, Simon. Really appreciate those words, as always, fella. And as I said, Connor will be live. I think he will be live at 9. So please do head over to the 1890 Reds podcast as well. And Connor from the Cop Council as well. As I said, the chat's already put the comments in there. But Mark's gone with a 3-1. I'd watch that, Jamie, as well. As I said, yeah, more or less replying to that, mate. Absolutely spot on. Watch that. Brian's gone with a 4-0. It's great that we're having positive thoughts, especially goals. Everyone's having clean sheets.
Gary
I love it, Gary. Gary's one day, Nunes will get a hat trick, and you'll be the first person to talk to, mate. And I know you want him to do.
That's the first time I've seen Gary go below 8 goals in a game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, big upside, big up everyone as well. He's gone with a 4-0 Liverpool win. Well, guys would love those numbers as well. Lucky touch to see a lovely touch. Yeah, 100%. Hopefully everything goes well in his recovery. Thoughts from every Liverpool fan around the world go to, obviously, Sebastian Haller, the ex-West Ham forward anyway. I'll see what we did Sunday, then I will predict we'll win 4-0. Get a big up, Philip. Absolute legend as well. Club for what now? That's a 74 mil. But we'll have a little gander as well, chat. Pep is the key. This is all coming from the Ballon d'Or ceremony, and yeah, everyone. Pep is the key to the project. Kevin De Bruyne, more or less discussing. It was quoted. Chatting a little.
That's why they were named Club of the Year.
Yeah, obviously based on having the most. Yeah, based on the City players having the most individual nominated across categories, including Lucy Bronze as well. They don't have bloody drag these. Well, as we can see, Salah finished 5th.
Fourth was De Bruyne.
4th De Bruyne, was it, mate?
Yeah.
Kevin. Obviously, Thibaut Courtois won the Yashin Trophy, quite rightly so anyway. I'll have the opportunity to score lots of goals. Obviously, Lewan, probably, no, you won't, mate, because you won't have a contract very soon. The legends, yeah. Zizou.
How much would they be worth nowadays?
I'll tell you what, chat. I'll tell you what. There we go. What are we saying? Ronaldo, original Ronaldo.
For me, best striker that's ever played football.
Yeah, what are we saying, chat? 200 million?
Harry never won the Champions League. He never won the Champions League. That's mad.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? Zizou. I remember being a young lad anyway, and that Champions League volley for Real Madrid.
Against Leverkusen.
Yeah, that's special. It's one of those memories, footballing memories I would always cherish, really. And I remember, obviously, BBC mentioned the reckon 400 to 500 million just for those 3 alone, anyway. And obviously, that's the ladies back to back. Obviously, Alexia looks like she's won the Ballon d'Or.
Fair play.
Play on that as well. Just trying to get a couple of the male nominations if we possibly can.
Salah won that award, the Socrates Award. Is the first time it's been done. He won it the first person.
Oh, did he? Salah?
Yeah. No, Mane, sorry.
And Mane. So the top 10 Ballon d'Or rankings. One. Oh, yeah, it's from last year. But as I said, well done, BBC. Your site's absolutely awful. Get that sorted. But yes, Spider, shout out your channel, mate. And most importantly, thank you for jumping on, mate.
No problem, lad. It's Spider LFC on the YouTubes. And I'll be doing a watch along for the West Ham game on Wednesday. And tonight I'll be on Irish Spider Guys straight after this, playing my usual horrors. I'm finally going to play what Jack has been denying me for ages, which is Siren Head. So that's going to be played tonight. So that should be a good crack. Yeah. So he's been looking forward to that. So I'm going to play a bit of that tonight. So that should be a good crack if you want to pop over. Irish Spider Guy.
Yeah, spot on, mate. As always, please do head over, everyone, if you're into your gaming. And Ricky, thank you very much for coming on, mate.
No, man, you're
As
welcome.
I said, thank you very much for having me on last night as well. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
great to see, obviously, the support everyone showed on the last episode. Quite rightly so, all the hard work you and the lads doing, and everyone doing their content creation on all their channels, everyone that have been on their channels. And thank you to everyone that has had the privilege to have me on theirs, and obviously everyone that's come on my channel as well. Keep on smashing it. Where can everyone find you, mate? And obviously, what have you got coming up this week, you and Luke?
1892 Reds podcast. We're live tomorrow to do our West Ham preview.
What time's it out? You know,
I think we're going to do probably 7 o'clock like normal, depending when everyone else does theirs. We're trying to avoid as many as possible.
yeah, better not be clashing with me, lads.
Yeah, what time you go live?
8, yeah. So
Oh, yeah, no,
7.
we'll do it.
There you go. Yeah.
Then Luke,
Oh,
He's done a join. He's done a join.
Oh, there we go. Now it sounds. There we go.
well, yeah, no, yeah. So catch us over there tomorrow. 6:30, 7 o'clock. We'll be live doing our preview.
Big up, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate, as well. We'll get to everyone's comments, most importantly. A massive thank you, as I said, to everyone. If you haven't already done so, please do drop a like on the video. It massively helps out the channel and everyone's content. As always, subscribe if you are new around here on the road to 5K. And a massive thank you to everyone especially over the last 2 nights as well. The support has been amazing, not just over the last 2 nights, over the last 4 or 5 years of content creation. As always, Reds as well. I know the rival fans as well, that absolutely bloody sounds that come on the comments. And we had a good lad, obviously, in the post when we were doing a live stream watch along in the city. He was a massive Wolves fan, but he was sound. He was like, I'm made up. He's a beating Man City. I was like, go ahead. Nice one, fella.
He won Ballon d'Or.
Benzema?
Yeah, Benzema's number 1.
Yeah, quite rightly so. 100%. He just deserved that. I'm just a bit complex that one I think all of us are that he didn't win the Ballon d'Or, obviously with COVID and that. I wish he did get a Ballon d'Or. They should have just given me, even though
who's that? Lewandowski.
Yeah, the season that it wasn't going because he literally ran away with it. If we did on Sunday, we'll predict a 4-0 win as well. We'd love Elliot to pick up more goals, 100% there. Mark Wooden Spoon, I think Jack said. Gonna be a war with me and my fiance's dad. He's a massive Hammers fan. I hope I get the last laugh though, but up the mighty Reds, and I see Darwin hat-trick and Mo and Bobby to get the other goals as well. Spot on there, Simon. Can't price it. No one could afford them as well.
Wow.
Say 500 mil. What have you seen there, lad?
Mane comes second.
Wow.
Kevin De Bruyne come third, and Lewandowski come fourth.
Woo!
Mane second. Yeah.
Interesting. I suppose he did win it for Senegal. I think that was massive. I think that's why even when Mane was at the football club, I think if Mane would have won the Champions League,
he would have won
the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, 100% he would have won the Ballon d'Or.
And they still would have named him under his name. It would have been Bayern Munich, not Liverpool.
Yeah,
you know they did it to stop that.
Yeah. So Brian, 500 mil. Yeah, that's for Ronaldo alone. Obviously, big up there, Mark. Thank you very much for dropping them in as well. When I was a kid, Liverpool versus West Ham game was one of those games I looked forward to watching if it was on the television. Yeah, always been a great watch anyway, and big up there, Mark, as well. But gentlemen and ladies, thank you to every single one of you that has tuned in. As I said, smash that like button as well. Everyone, thank you so much for all the continued support. Tomorrow we will be live at 8 p.m. for the opposition fan preview. Got a couple of my good West Ham mates coming on. Cannot wait for to get really their thoughts on the game, how their season has progressed. Both teams, Liverpool and West Ham, not really started the season off the flying colours anyway. But Reds, have a lovely rest of your Monday night. Lads on the panel, massive thank you to Connor as well. Always have a lovely rest of your night. And as I said, we'll see you tomorrow, chat, at 8 p.m. GMT. As I said, if you don't get your notifications, we'll be live. See you later, everyone. See you later.